Hi guys, I hope you're doing really well. In this video, what I'm going to talk about is what happens in the end of the relationship with the narcissist and the new supply, and you, if you're the primary source of supply. Well, one thing you need to know about this is that a narcissist is always going to devalue. So it doesn't matter. They're always going to have that three part of the relationship: the idealization during the love bombing, the devaluation, and the discard. And they're going to repeat this cycle in every single relationship they ever have. So nobody is exempt from their devaluation. It doesn't matter how perfect, amazing, smart, beautiful, whatever this person is. None of that matters, right? It just matters that they get bored. Narcissists get bored because, remember, they're really looking at people as objects to feed their ego, right? So you're not a person to them. So you're more like an object. So if you're objectifying something, of course it's going to get boring, right? It's just like an object, and they get tired of playing with that object and they want the new shiny toy, right? So that's why, they're always getting new supply. And you have to know that with narcissists, they're almost always grooming supply, even if you're sort of early on in the relationship with them and you might not realize it, but they are working on other supply. They might be calling these people their friends, right? But yeah, it's inevitable. And even if they're the covert narcissist and you are with them for 10, 15, 20 years and you don't know this, you have no idea, but they are grooming a new source of supply. That is why they can so seamlessly go into the new relationship, or they start cheating and there's overlap. It's because they've been working on that person. They've been making themselves available in the course of the relationship with you. And once they get with that new source of supply, they're going to do exactly the same thing to them, right? They're going to start grooming somebody else, right? Because they always need new, bright, shiny toys to play with, right? My precious. So that's what happens with these narcissists. And then you might notice something. This is what they do a lot with the triangulation at the end of the relationship. So while they're working on love bombing the new source of supply, and they kind of put you on the shelf, if you're not wise to what's going on, they still like to have you there. They want to keep you, they want to keep you there, but they want to be able to do this thing over here, right? So what you're going to notice, or it's possible that you're going to notice, is in the triangulation, what they, not necessarily you're going to notice, but what they're going to do in the triangulation with the new source of supply is they're going to make that person sort of think, especially if they're married, like, maybe you can be, maybe I'll be with you. It's like dangling the carrot, like maybe you're good enough for me, right? But they're very subtle about it. And then what they'll often do is they will say things like, oh, you're really good at this thing. My, person at home isn't very good at that thing. Or I really like the way that you XYZ. I really like the way you dress. And she doesn't dress very good. Or I really like that you don't wear makeup and she wears too much makeup. Or they're going to do that. They're going to compare, and they're devaluing their old source. But you should know, if you're the new source, the reason they're doing this is they're setting you up. They're setting you up and comparing you to the old source so that you will toe the line and do the things that they want you to do. It's a way for them to get control and power over you and to compare you to the old source of supply. It's a form of triangulation, and it's all about feeding their ego, controlling you, and getting you under their spell. And remember, a lot of times it's like you're getting this, like, it's like a compliment, but it really isn't. It's like, I can't quite articulate it, but it's an insult that's hidden in a compliment. So they're going to do a lot of triangulation in the end of that, for sure, with the new source of supply. And again, they always devalue. So it doesn't matter what you're seeing on social media. It doesn't matter. If this person is with the new source, they are going to devalue that person. It's just a matter of time. And the cycle will repeat. They're going to replace that person with a new source of supply, or they're going to discard and quickly go into another relationship. It might be 5, 10, 15 years, but it will happen. It is inevitable. So I hope this helps. And yeah, so don't feel jealous of that new source of supply. If anything, feel sorry for them, because if the pain that you're going through that made you get onto this channel and go onto these channels, because the pain that you're going through when you get hit by a Mack truck and you're in shock because you had no idea what you were dealing with, and then you go through this horrible trauma and this journey of understanding that you were with a narcissist and all the ramifications of that, that's what's in store for them. Right? That's what's in store for them. So you're already on the healing journey. If you're watching these videos and you're trying to get some healing, that new source of supply is just beginning. And yeah, they're in the love bombing, and that's awesome, right? The love bombing's great. It's not real. So I don't like anything that isn't real. I want real. But it feels great if you're susceptible to it, which most kind of trauma survivor codependents are, or people that have those traits. But they are going to devalue that person, and they are going to discard that person. And that person is going to go through very similar pain to what you're experiencing now. So rather than being jealous of them or envious of them, have pity, have some compassion, because that person has no idea what they're in for. And remember, you were very susceptible to the love bombing. You thought that you were the exception. You thought that you were that they totally loved you, because they're very convincing. They're very convincing at making you think that they're madly in love with you, but it is a ruse. So hope this helped you guys, and hope you're practicing radical self-care. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.